Yo, what is good, YouTube, and welcome back to another JC2K video. In today's video, we are talking about tomorrow's content here in NBA 2K25 My Team that will include 2 Invincibles, 3 100 overalls, as well as Dark Matter Brandon Miller, who's an interesting card in his own right. They only show us the Invincibles, the 100 overalls, and 1 Dark Matter. We should get at least 4 more Dark Matters, I would guess. Maybe they only do 4 Dark Matters and we only get 3 more. I don't know. But we'll get a few more Dark Matters, and I would assume we'll get some Galaxy Opals and maybe Pink Diamonds. I don't think we'll get higher than or lower than Pink Diamonds here. I think they're done with Diamonds, in all honesty, and I wouldn't be totally entirely shocked if we're done with Pink Diamonds as well at this point in the year. I mean, we are in end game, so that's not really a huge shock if that is what winds up happening. But this looks to be an incredible drop. This will likely be the first LaMELO card of the year that's actually elite, because he's probably going to have a changed jump shot, as well as, of course, he'll have perfect SIGs and animations. And the SHAQ, I mean, his 100 overall is still absolutely broken. Power forward SHAQ, or sorry, he's already power forward, but Invincible SHAQ with perfect SIGs is just going to be an insanely cracked card. Probably the second best power forward in the game after, obviously, Invincible Victor Wembanyama. This is an incredible drop with a lot of incredible cards. Even the 100 overalls have the potential to be really good. Ray Allen is only 6'5", but with I don't think he'll get a changed jumper, which means he probably won't be that insane. But if he were to and get really good SIGs, he could be a really good, fun, scoring 300 point guard. But the question with him is going to be both jump shot and animations, especially animations. That's the thing about Ray. His jumper's not, like, in my personal opinion, as spectacular as it used to be. People used to love Ray Allen's jumper. I don't totally get that. At the same time, I do think that Ray Allen is going to do a lot of good things in the court, and I think he's going to be a useful card, potentially. It all depends on those SIGs and those animations. DeMar will not be usable if he has his own jumper. He will be extremely, extremely mediocre, so my hope is that that is not the case. I really don't know what to expect from 2K when it comes to DeMar, because, look, when you look at last season's Invincibles, obviously Jason Tatum, Anthony Edwards, guys like that didn't get changed animations and wound up being really mediocre 100 overalls, and especially with 2K now dropping these 100 overall packs as like the level 37 reward is a guaranteed 100 overall, and I would assume some of the mode rewards and things like that are going to be 100 overalls as well. Would not surprise me at all for at least 1 or 2 of these cards to actually not be very good at all. Now, that is not to say that they're all going to suck, and I honestly wouldn't be surprised if they were all pretty good. But DeMar, if he doesn't get a changed jumper, will easily be the worst 100 overall, and overall just be what I would consider a pretty bad card, especially for 100 overall. He'll be one of the worst 100 overalls we've seen all year, period. Just not a card that I personally would be very excited to get in my team if that is who we do wind up, if that is how he winds up being, I should say. And then Rashard Lewis is kind of in the same boat, another guy who has a very mediocre release that would realistically kind of kill the card. If he has a good jumper and good animations, though, that's a 6'10" elite small forward who could be one of the best small forwards in the game. It is very, very dependent on what his release winds up looking like for both of those cards, in all honesty. I feel like for Ray Allen's competitive viability as well, that's going to be important, as are obviously animations. None of those 3 cards, previous cards this year in Ray, DeMar, or Rashard, have actually been great cards. So I personally look at this drop and go, the 100 overalls, if they get changed animations, could be awesome, especially DeMar and Rashard. If they don't get changed animations, well, they're going to be pretty darn mediocre. So I really don't know what to expect as of now from that. Brandon Miller, I have to think he'll be really good. My question is going to be, will he have good enough animations to be a truly elite level card? I mean, his Diamond and his Pink Diamond were both decent cards for their point in the year, but he hasn't gotten a card since his Pink Diamond. Obviously will be much better defensively than this Pink Diamond card was, but I mean, this card was already pretty good offensively, and his jumper isn't bad. He had 95 driving dunk, 93 3 ball, 91 speed, 6'7" with a 6'11" wingspan at shooting guard. This one's also a shooting guard small forward. So my thought process is with this card that if the defense is really good and he's got Hoff on ball menace and Hoff pick dodger and Hoff immovable enforcer, maybe, I mean, I don't think I'll probably have that as a base card, but if he's got some good Hoffs and some good animations and stuff, I definitely see a world in which this is a really, really good card. I think it is absolutely plausible that he winds up being a really, really nice option, but I also think that it's pretty plausible that he's not that elite defensively and he doesn't get as many animation changes as you'd want. Whereas his release is good, I assume it'll be his own release, not very quick. I'm fine with that. Ben McLemore fade, I didn't love it on this card, I'm gonna be honest. So that's one thing that I would love to see adjusted. wasted, I think. I don't really want to see Ben McLemore's fade on him. D-Book dribble style, Paul George escape, and LeBron behind the back. Would love to see Garland dribble style become a mainstay here. We are in season 7. It is end game of my team. You can change up the other animations like escape behind the back and size up and things like that, although we're going to see a lot of, at least on top tier cards, Francis size up, Kemba Trey, or Curry escape, and Kawhi behind the, or sorry, Trey behind the back on most of these cards. I would love to see Garland dribble style become a mainstay on pretty much every single at least guard that 2K drops throughout this season. In season 7 really would help their shot creation ability. I'm kind of sick of Devin Booker, Jalen Green, and especially De'Aaron Fox dribble style. Not what I'm looking for personally. Y'all may not agree with me. I assume y'all probably do, but it's definitely not what I personally am looking for at this point in the year when it comes to the shot creation. So for those of y'all who dribble and like to dribble, definitely something I'm hoping we see improved upon for next season is the dribble style. So we'll see what happens with that. With that being said, this is a drop that on the surface has a couple of amazing top tier cards that are likely to be top couple options at their position in the game. With that being said, not a single one of these cards is actually the best card at their position in the game, which is a fine thing. I don't think this drop makes pay to win worse by any means. My only real concern with this drop is if we're going to get a festival alongside it. I don't know if we're going to get a festival this week. I think probably not for the first week of season 1. For season 7, I feel like there's a really good chance we get another festival event next weekend, though. I mean, they're not going to do one the first week of the season because we have the whole first week season event. So we'll have obviously the season 7 content that is just initially dropping. But I would not be surprised if next weekend we do see another festival event. I kind of hope we don't. I mean, the festival events have some good to them, but it would be nice to go a couple more weeks before they drop yet another festival. Just my opinion. I will see what happens, but I'm kind of a little sick of them, I guess. I don't know. I'm looking forward to the season 7 content. Obviously, Paul George looks, at least right now, like as good or better of a card than any of these cards. And I mean, I don't know, man. I don't mind a not extremely exciting drop. I'm okay with a drop that doesn't punch me in the face of like, oh my gosh, we are coming for your wallets. I bet that drop comes next week. I'm just going to say that. But this doesn't feel like that type of drop. As great as SHAQ is, the only area he's going to be that much substantially better than his 100 overall card is SIGs. LAMELO, great card, but we have Jokic, Ben Simmons, Jimmy Butler, LeBron, a lot of guys like that that have dropped that are already extremely good pay to win options at the point guard position. And so this card is not as pay to win as those cards are pretty much in all likelihood. Now, he's going to be great. Don't get that twisted. There's no doubt about it that he's going to be a really good card. But at the same time, I definitely could see a world where this card winds up being just not that necessary, I think is what I would say. So I am interested to see, I don't know. I'm interested to see what the other Dark Matters are. That I will start with. I would love to see a Dark Matter Artist Gilmore, a Dark Matter Taco Fall, a Dark Matter Rick Smits, another tall center would be awesome. I would love to see one more elite level big man that's like either like a 7'1", 7'2", really good power forward with a nice release, or like a 7'3", 7'4" center as a Dark Matter. That would be a really nice card to see, just because I think that would be really good for the state of the game as a whole to get a couple cards like that. I mean, Dikembe Mutombo and Mark Eaton were a good start. Obviously, Wemby's still really good as well. But having guys who can compete against the glitchiest and best of the best at their positions is very valuable. I mean, I know we got a bunch of tall point guards last week, but I wouldn't mind another good tall point guard too. A 6'8", 6'9" Opal or Dark Matter point guard who's a really good card would be very, very nice. I am just in general interested to see what the content winds up looking like here throughout season 7, and hopefully we see some really elite budget cards, because obviously Invincibles and 100 overalls are still going to be expensive. 100 overalls are going to start getting less expensive, but with this many new 100 overall Invincible cards coming out, I think Dark Matter prices are going to continue to drop. And so we have the opportunity for some really great value Dark Matters and Opals and things like that over the next few weeks if 2K does a good job of executing those. So with that being said, that's going to do it for the video. I hope y'all did enjoy. If you did, make sure you hit that like button, leave a comment, and subscribe. Be back with more 2K content very, very soon. I appreciate y'all. Peace.